dare come in here. I had to run one away because he was like right there looking at me. He was on the ledge.
Really?
Yes.
Yeah, one freaking stared me down. It was on the rack that you put your clothes on out there, and it stopped, and I thought it was fake because I was like, what is happening? And I looked and it was just like
Pigeons.
We have crows around here somewhere. I heard one the other morning. It woke me up. Yeah.
I heard pigeons at 7 o'clock this morning when I got up.
A lot of pigeons.
Did you make your goal of sleeping until 8?
I think I didn't wake up today until like 8:30,
Ooh, congratulations.
and I'm very tired.
It's exhausting working 6 days a week.
Yeah, I don't know why any country today, because this is not a us working thing. This is an Egypt as
Yeah.
a country thing.
Yeah.
This is their work week. Starting on Sunday, ending on Thursday. Well,
Yeah.
starting on Sunday, ending on Thursday, but most, from what I saw, most people work 6 days a week,
Well,
which doesn't make sense to me.
I
But
was-
Friday, people are off.
right. I was talking to my
They may or may
students,
not
and
be off on
I
Saturday.
have no students who work 6 days.
Yeah, what did they say? The government took Saturday off or something. It was like a governmental worker.
Well, yeah, so Friday and Saturday. In other words, they have a weekend. They have
Yeah,
2
their
days.
Friday and Saturdays are their weekend. I have no students who work 6 days.
So I don't know. I don't know who does, but apparently we do. And hopefully he will find a way to create an actual schedule that makes sense for having 5 days a week, more teachers, and maybe a modified time thing. Because what we're doing now, it's not good for the teachers, it's not good for the students, it's actually not even good for the center itself.
No.
But this is where they are. And
By the time I started my 4 o'clock class yesterday, I could barely function. I was so tired and just mentally exhausted. It took me a good 45, 50 minutes to actually get up to speed like where I would normally be teaching because I'm so stinking
yeah,
tired.
I don't have that because once I start teaching,
Well,
I go
also,
on a serious like kind of autopilot. Like I couldn't tell you what I did. Like today, I couldn't tell you what I did yesterday because I am that tired. But
Yeah.
Once I start teaching and talking to students and I'm doing the back and forth with them, I kind of go into a out of body experience and I just.
Well, part of my problem was I was in a
Away.
classroom I'd never been in before, and I couldn't figure out how to get the sound to work because the computer wasn't loud enough for the listening portions. And then when I asked, hey, do we have speakers? I was told, oh, just make it go through the TV. But then when I turned on the TV, it wasn't doing the thing, so the sound was coming out of the TV.
You have an HDMI cable.
Yeah, it wasn't coming out. The sound wasn't.
Did you go into your sound preferences on
I
the computer?
did all of that stuff. We ended up having to restart the computer
With it plugged in first.
with it plugged in first, and then it worked.
Hello, Windows.
But then that was 30 minutes of my class, and then the owner came in and spoke to the class for another 20 minutes. So that's 50 minutes of my class wasted.
Well, see, the technical side of that, if we were able to go into the rooms and prepare the space
Yeah.
prior to class beginning, well then,
I would have known that.
you would
before.
have been able to troubleshoot and all that kind of stuff and get it all done prior to the class walking in. So then that would have been alleviated. I'm leaning towards not bringing up anything, but the stuff like that, having time to go into a classroom, all of these things could literally be fixed by putting the same amount of chairs in all the rooms and then putting people in rooms and then
Right.
just say, here's your room for today.
Right.
And then that's just where all of your classes meet. That way you could have everything set up before you started, 15, 20 minutes before they start, like you would in a normal place. And then all of it, like every class, it's already set up and ready to go for however you're teaching and whatever you're doing. But I am basically not going to be offering up free advice
Again.
to this company.
Well, I think that one of the things that you suggested they've tried to implement was letting us know which room we are in based on the schedule and not who's not in a room at that moment. And that works sometimes, but they have like yesterday and Monday, right? It's Monday, Thursday. They have here, I'm gonna be in this room at this time, and Aaron's gonna be in this room at this time, but then Aaron goes to start his class and his room is occupied, so he takes the empty class, but his class is from 2 to 5, and my class is 4 to 7, and now he's in the room I'm supposed to be in.
And then you end up back in the room
and
that I'm supposed to go in at 5.
Right, and then it's just, and so yesterday I didn't know, do I stay in this room? Do I have to go find another space? So I packed up all of my things, get ready to head out of the room, and here come my students coming into the room. Oh, we're in here today, and I was like,
It's like having a schedule does not mean being on a schedule.
right,
It's still being run like fly by the seat of your pants. She happens to be in the room at the moment, so go there. And I asked them yesterday can the schedule be updated? Because I thought the reason why this is getting all off is because one teacher is changed the schedule of their class, thus throwing everything off for Mondays and Thursdays.
right. They changed the schedule of the
But
class, but didn't update the time with
But
the front desk.
No. They didn't tell us that this was a permanent change.
Right.
I thought it was just that day.
Me too,
So
I
then
know.
I was sitting there waiting to go in, waiting for that class to end, and then finally I asked, I was like, because my class was supposed to start, I asked, because all the students came in because the schedule said, go into that room. All the students start going in the room, and he's like, no, I'm in this room. It's like, and then he says, I changed the class. It's like, oh, well, it'd have been really nice to know because the schedule has been changed twice since the first schedule came out. But that change was never on there.
No.
And the person changing the schedule is the person that changed the class.
Yeah.
So, hello, it seemed like you would make the change in the schedule so everybody could see it, and then they could redo the rooms and say, okay, instead of you being in this room, just use the room next door, and then Karen can come in that room. It's like, okay, all we need to do is know.
Yeah.
And I think
It's just a simple thing, communication, and right now I went off on that a little bit yesterday because I woke up to a message saying, your students in this level are asking for these things, and you can do them with just a little preparation. And I didn't,
like you're not coming to class prepared.
right, and I didn't respond because in WhatsApp you can see if the person has seen your message. I don't need to respond. So I didn't respond, and so he sought me out at school and asked, reiterated what he said, even though I said, I read your message, I understand, I got it. And so he wants to, go into this big long thing, and I just looked at him and I said, I'm gonna stop you here. If expectations would have been communicated previously, this would have never been a concern. But you handed me the book and said, go teach the class, and never gave me the expectations. All this all boils down to is communication. This is what we're trying to teach the students to do, is to be able to effectively communicate. But you aren't communicating prior to there being an issue.
So that's number 4 on the list.
And it seems like this is a universal issue.
Why is communication such a hard thing to get by English speakers in other countries? Because this is not just here. This happened in China and Thailand and Mexico and here. People that do speak English are still not using the English that they know to effectively communicate with the native English speakers that they have working for them. And the expectation is that they're just gonna know it. Everywhere we've been, that has been true of those people that speak English. Now, I get 100% that the person who speaks Mandarin but does not speak English, they're not going to be trying to tell you anything. I'm okay with that. I wouldn't understand. Okay? But all of the people that speak English, it seems like the native speaker would be top of their mind because they're the ones that have to communicate to them. So if it's something that is unclear for them, it seems like they would need to get clarity so that then they could transfer that information over to the native English speaker. But we consistently are the last to know anything. And then, but we're expected to have been told. That happens all the time. And it's now becoming like something that's getting under my skin to the point where it's just like, okay, well then I'm never gonna think about what you're doing. I'm never gonna think about what's going on. It's just like yesterday, there was this big long message for the people that work at the center, the clinic, the people that work there. There was this big long message, audio message in Arabic.
Oh.
And it was just like, okay,
I didn't even see that.
Why did this go out to everybody when everybody can't understand it? And so then I asked, is this something I need to know? And it was like, no, this was only for these two departments. It's like, then why did you send it to everybody then? And it's not just for those two departments. It's just for the Arab speaker. And that just creates an environment, the beginnings of that hostile work environment where it's us versus them, which we saw in China, in Thailand, in Mexico, where we are the official right people and they are the officially wrong people, and then we're gonna always know what's happening and what's going on and be abreast of everything, and those people won't, and that will always keep them being wrong. You're gonna always be wrong in that situation, and that's what they're creating now. I can tell you now, it's a terrible way to keep foreign staff. Because as soon as you start down that road, no one is thinking, we need to get them updated. We need to get them, make sure that they know what's going on.
Right.
And it doesn't matter if you put an English-speaking person at a higher management position, because if you don't tell them, then they can't pass it along either. So we're just back to
China.
I think this is just the way businesses that have not had experiences with foreigners a lot, how they deal with, and trust me, it happens in places where they have had lots of foreigners, but the ones that don't, they literally don't know what they don't know, and they don't try to know, and they don't try to find out anything outside of what they know. If you want to follow the Traveling Farrs, you can find us at the YouTube, Facebook, Pinterest, iTunes, Spotify, or any place good podcasts are sold for no money, at the Traveling Farrs. If you like the Instagram or the Twitters, Traveling Farrs. If you like email and you want to send it to the Karen lady, travelingfars@gmail.com. Are we getting any emails at
Yes.
travelingfars@gmail.com?
We are, in fact,
I hear nothing about this. So.
I'm going to be speaking at a conference for families who would like to learn about traveling abroad, living abroad, finding work abroad, and that was an email that I got in fact, two. I've got two of those where.
So we've got 2 whole emails at the
No,
email address travelingfarrs@gmail.com.
We get a lot of emails,
Oh.
but not all of them.
Is it all junk mail?
Some of them are like, hey, we want you to be our brand ambassador.
I'll be a brand ambassador, but we're gonna do it on your dime.
Right. You have to order the thing and then.
That's called a customer.
Right.
That's not a brand
I gotta buy it
ambassador.
from you and you're not giving me anything, and then that's just it. Come buy.
So
my
you
thing.
get my money and you get an endorsement? I don't think so. Alright. And the blog space. TheTravelingFarrs.blueberry.net. No E's in the Blueberry, which Blueberry was messing up, and I can't figure out why our last podcast is not coming out on the Blueberry. It did something weird in the thing, and it's not showing up. So I'm going to try to fix that and get this uploaded.
What was the date for that one?
It was not last week, but the week before. It did not go up. It did not come out. It did not even post on Blueberry.
Well.
Like the all the writing about the post was on there. I took off the post because there was nothing there. There was no audio. And then so it showed that, but then at the bottom where you have the player, it wasn't there.
I noticed something on iTunes podcasts now. You can do the episode webpage. So if you can't find one of the podcasts that you want to hear, you can touch episode webpage and it'll just take you right to the Blueberry
So now we gotta put that in the thing
from
once we get the interwebs.
podcasts on Apple.
Hopefully one day we'll get the internet here at home and then we can, be better on the uploading. If you go to the YouTubes, things are still dropping on the YouTube. Old episodes, stuff is still going there. So you can still get your YouTube fix from the Traveling Farrs. It's still going.
Are we going to be doing the NADPOD Homo this year?
NAPOD Homo, I have a feeling that I let's put it like this. If I can edit, which Aaron's computer, our main workhorse for editing, is having its issues now. But if I can edit, then we can still have an episode of something come out, and we could probably get one episode on YouTube per day, or at least close to it. But we could never do it on Blueberry anyway. All of our NAPOD Homo stuff had to go to YouTube. So maybe we could do more uploads, but we gotta get internet here for me to do it. Because I can't upload, like if we did something, say, for 10 minutes because we were walking somewhere, or we were doing a thing, or we just wanted to talk about something real quick, and then upload it. We've gotta be able to upload it from here. We can't.
Yeah.
There's no other place to upload it, so.
Alright.
Also,
And
check
we
out
definitely
our
can't
Patreon.
use our phones. Again?
Check out our Patreon. Patreon.com/TheTravelingFarrs. We've got things.
She can't see this, but you can see this.
I can see it.
It's down there.
Can they see the links for the merch shops that have new merch on
It's
them?
in the
See,
description.
the link in the do all the things that
Put it
YouTubers
low.
tell you to do.
Below is the merch shop.
There are some Halloween merch up.
Below.
Some new Keegan art up. There's some new Raptor Claw Studio art up.
And the GoFundMe thing.
And
It might be up there. It might be not.
if you'd like to send us a Cash App gift for our birthday, we would be happy to accept it. And you could do $The Traveling Farrs is our Cash App.
Or you could join our Patreon. We have
You already talked about it.
Yeah, I know, but
Why are you going back to Patreon? I already flashed it up here. I'm not putting it back. Look, man, we don't want to hear your spiel.
The tiers.
Go check out the Patreon. Check out the
We got
tiers.
tiers.
We got tiers, as well as tiers. That's it. That's all I got.
Have a great
Say
day.
goodbye to the people, man. Say goodbye to the people.
Bye.
Peace.